and welcome back to the Balance and Built podcast. My name is Morgan,
My name is Shay.
and we are coming to you live from another virtual recording because of all of this crazy weather that we've been having.
We probably have like 2 feet of snow. And like we don't live in the snow belt. Like, I mean, of course we live in the snow belt because we live in Northeast Ohio, but like where my parents live, oh my gosh, they get like hammered with snow. We don't get that much snow. So I can't believe, and it's still snowing.
I know, it's crazy, especially me. I'm even further south than you, and we have
Yeah.
the same. And yeah, it has not stopped, but
No, no. By the time you guys are seeing this episode, all the snow will be over. But today is currently January 25th. And so, like, everybody in Tennessee and the Carolinas, like, this is like that big snowstorm that's been all over the news that for once they actually got right. I kept thinking that they were gonna like do make all this big deal. People were closing down, all this stuff. I couldn't even do a Walmart pickup order this morning because of this, which I was not happy about, by the way.
yeah,
And it actually happened. So I'm glad that it lived up to the hype, I guess. But hopefully everyone was safe and
yeah.
everything's good.
Yeah, so we decided that we'd rather be safe than sorry, so that's why we're doing another virtual recording today, and we're all bundled up, but I think it's going to be an interesting topic. This was actually a request from someone on Instagram, so thank you so much if you requested this topic. But we're going to be diving into sort of de-influencing you guys from the overconsumption of the wellness industry. I think if you pay attention to the wellness industry a little bit, even, you know how much marketing and greenwashing and just all the tactics that they use to try to sell you stuff and to kind of take advantage of people's ailments and symptoms and things like that. So we want to kind of like shed some light on that and just dive a little bit deeper into it today. So I think it's going to be really interesting. But other than that, any other housekeeping items, or should we just get into it?
I mean, other than like, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend, and leave us a review. It continues to support our channel. We really appreciate it. But I'm excited about this topic because I think it actually kind of ties into a lot of things that we talk about, which is like re-educating people on what actually matters in their health and fitness journey. And oftentimes less is more. And I think we live in a time where that quick gratification is something that everybody's looking for. And so when you live in that world and then you combine it with marketing and you can combine it with influencer marketing where people are pushing products all the time and you're just trying to figure out what to do next. It's really hard to figure out what to do next and how to move forward when you're just being blasted with information all the time. And like, oops, sorry, it's funny because I don't know, maybe like 5-10 years ago, like this type of information was like not available. And so in some ways it's like really helpful, but in ways where you are like where most people are at, where they don't have like a true baseline knowledge of like how to get started, where to get started, what to do, what not to do. Like this overconsumption like can be really unhelpful and kind of detrimental for
Yeah.
your financial pocket as well because the stuff ain't cheap.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited about this one. I think this will be a fun topic, and I'm glad that we're doing this one. I've been watching some other people's de-influencing videos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like yes,
Oh, it makes you feel so much better. Like, yeah, you actually don't need to go out and spend thousands of dollars on things. Like, there's a lot of free stuff that you can do from home, and we're gonna get into that towards the end. So,
yeah. All right, well, let lead us the way.
okay, so yeah, I'm gonna be looking above at my monitor here, but this all started because obviously everyone wants to feel better. I feel like if you're listening to this podcast, you're interested in improving your health. Like, we all just want to feel our best. And we're always like searching for different solutions to be healed or just different practices, diets, all those type of things to get to that point. And so obviously the wellness industry has taken advantage of that, which I kind of said earlier. And like you said, like social media and wellness culture online has like exploded,
So
especially on
wild.
like TikTok and Reels. I feel like there's always someone convincing you to buy like the next new supplement or the next new wellness gadget to like finally be healed or finally get rid of XYZ. And there's like a lot of fear-based marketing too. Like there's so many people I see being like, you're toxic, you're inflamed, you're deficient in this vitamin. Like a lot of like fear mongering, which like we said is detrimental for people
Yeah.
if they don't have a lot of education on this and they're just searching for answers. They can take that and kind of like run with it. And I'm even guilty of this, like getting really stressed out after consuming that kind of content because you just feel like you need to do a whole 180 and go out and spend a bunch of money and like completely change your life. But we want to talk about why that's not necessarily always the case. So, like we said, a lot of lack of education on the foundational basics that you and I talk about on this podcast all the time: nutrition, sleep, exercise, stress, hydration. Like, people I know are desperate for relief. So, we're gonna get into those foundational basics a little bit later, but kind of also wanted to talk about like how that social media marketing can backfire, unless you wanted to add anything there.
No, I think that's a perfect place to start. I've got a lot to say about that, so we can definitely start there.
Yeah, so how it can backfire, just like a couple random examples I jotted down. Like the supplement thing, supplement overload, too many supplements can actually like stress your liver and stress your gut, because your liver has to filter all that out what it's not using, and your gut has to digest it. So especially
Also,
like, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead. No, 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 go ahead.
I was just gonna say, especially like just taking supplements because you saw a TikTok about it and not actually knowing if your body needs that specific supplement can be damaging.
Yeah, with the supplements too, I think like an overarching thing throughout this entire episode is we all know how different our bodies are, right? Like I heard this on a podcast the other day. They said we're willing to accept that some people are naturally very book smart. We're willing to accept that some people are very naturally athletic. We're willing to accept that some people were born a lot taller and some people were a lot shorter as they gotten older. We're willing to accept a lot of things in society that make us all different, but we're not willing to accept that we're all different from a health and wellness perspective. And that like really ties into the supplements because each one of us are so different that like just buying the same supplement that everybody on your street is buying, who's to say that's going to work for you? And on top of that, I actually know somebody, and this is not to scare anybody, but this is just to really kind of bring it back to what we're talking about, that she started taking vitamin A, I believe, and she started taking it, and all of a sudden she started noticing like hair falling out, like not normal. Like, okay, we all have hair fall out in the shower. When we brush our hair, we have hair come out. I mean, there's like however many strands of hair that you normally lose a day. Like, that's pretty normal. But this was like clumps, like intense clumps. Well, turns out it was because she was overloading her system with vitamin A because she naturally, as a human, produces more vitamin A for whatever reason. And so then the supplement that she was taking put her over into that, out of the normal range. And she started having the side effects of hair loss. So, like, that's another thing that I tell people. And I'm like, not that you need to go get your labs done to take a vitamin B supplement, like, but if you really are overloading your system with supplements, like one, if you don't actually know what that supplement's doing for you. Number two, if you don't have any like guidance or like reason why you're taking it to help with something. And three, like a trackable measure to determine like, is this actually helping me outside of just taking like a multivitamin? Okay, like that's pretty standard, right? But like, then maybe you should consider, what am I doing before I just go and take it? And the labels that are around it. I'm sure we'll get into that, but like even I think we talked about this last week on our hormonal acne episode. Like people will like label products as like get like this is for acne, people with acne or like fine lines. Like if you have lines on your face, like, oh, this will get rid of your fine lines. Like, okay, no pill that you take is going to get rid of your inflammation. No pill that you take is going to, you know what I'm saying? Even like digestive aids, like I take a digestive aid, but if I'm not also eating clean foods, if I'm not doing the right things, if I'm not drinking enough water, if I'm not eating foods that are digestible and good for my stomach, it doesn't matter what the digestive aid is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah, we always say at work, you can't out supplement a bad diet. It's just
Yes,
impossible. So,
1,000%, 1,000%.
yeah, so
Yeah, like
I mean,
supplements.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
there's
not
so
like
many
a
out there.
blanket one size fits all. Like, so I just want people to be cautious and do their research before just seeing an influencer market them something and like go ahead and take it, like you
Yeah.
said.
And all right, like let's be honest here. Like if there was something strong enough to change your life, you wouldn't be able to pull it off the Walmart counter. Like seriously. If they
Yeah,
like that, okay, this is gonna be bad, but that's why they don't sell like steroids at Walmart. Like
yeah.
that
I
that's
was
not
just
safe.
having this conversation with my sister earlier because she was asking me about some supplements, and I'm like, yeah, you can get that off Amazon, but like just order this one. And I sent her the one from my work. So I'm like, these are professional grade, like only
Yeah.
practitioners can get a hold of them. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not the same as what you buy on Amazon. And then that's a whole nother tangent. There's like fake supplements on Amazon that slap the normal labels on. Like I know that was happening with
Heard about that.
Thorn, which is a really good brand, but people were like making fake Thorn supplements and putting the Thorn label. So you just never know. So just always do your research. I would never suggest buying supplements from like TikTok Shop or anything like
Please
that.
don't.
Like, just be safe out there. There's a lot of good brands that you can find that you can get, but just do your research is the main thing. And if you can do the labs, or like even if you can get your primary care doctor to like order a basic blood work panel, that would be better than just like guessing. So,
Yeah. So what about supplements that you think everyone should take? I know we just said everyone's individual, but if someone's listening to this, like general supplements that are typically good for people that aren't super individualized.
So I definitely think magnesium, and the reason why is because we used to get a lot of magnesium from fruits and vegetables in our diet because our soil used to be rich in magnesium, but now in today's day and age, our soil is so depleted of magnesium that we're not getting nearly enough in our diet, and magnesium is involved in I think like 5,000 or something bodily processes. Like it's actually really
Wow.
important. So that's one that like pretty much everyone at the clinic is on. And then I don't want to say this one for sure, but like vitamin D is very common as well, especially living in Northeast Ohio.
Ohio,
We don't get a lot of sunlight.
especially in the winter time.
Yeah, and then I guess third I would say like a probiotic.
Yeah.
People have a lot of
And
gut.
probiotics can be very specific too. Like generally speaking, a probiotic is good, but like when you get a probiotic, make sure it's like has the stuff in it that can
Yeah,
help what your specific issue is, because there's so many different probiotics for digestion, probiotics for bloating, probiotics for, gut health, like whatever it is, they all kind of have different things in them. So definitely take a deeper dive into that. I mean, I would say like probably like a multivitamin is probably pretty generally safe and good for like everybody.
yeah.
And fish oil,
I was gonna say yeah,
some type of
omega.
fish oil. Yeah,
Yeah,
omega-3s are like a flaxseed oil. You really can't go wrong with any of those.
I would agree. Those are
Yeah.
like five that you could probably be safe with. But
Also though
anything,
too, like with that, like what like I I'm not someone that's super consistent with supplements. Like I wish that I was better at it, but I'm not. But
mm,
I have noticed like because also why are you taking the supplement too? Like are you taking the vitamins and stuff to be so you don't get sick? Like what are you taking them for? I feel like since I've changed my diet like the last couple years, like the amount of times that I get sick is significantly decreased.
oh,
And like my digestion and bloating and all that has like significantly improved like just because of I'm feeding myself the right way. I would not say it was because of supplements because I don't consistently take supplements. Oh, apple cider vinegar is also another good one
yeah,
for general for people that's not like
yeah.
detrimental.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I don't even take a multivitamin because I eat pretty
Yeah.
well-rounded. Like I try to always eat the rainbow and get all my macros and micronutrients. So, but if you're someone that struggles with that, then maybe a multi would be good for you. You know, it just really depends. It's so individualized. So
Yeah.
that's the
So
main
all
thing.
in all, do your research. Don't let some random person on Instagram tell you if you take this supplement, you are gonna be snatched or
Yeah.
whatever they say.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also like if you're doing all these different things that you hear from pieces and parts, like those things can counteract and like conflict. I see people on like a lot of conflicting protocols, which it's such a fine line because it's like, yes, you want to do your research and do a really well-rounded protocol for your personal life and body, but also like if you're just taking something copy and paste from other people, then that's when things can like conflict and
Yeah.
like cancel out almost. Like, I don't know.
I agree
So,
with that.
and then also another reason that these, not just supplements, but like other things that you're marketed towards to be more healthy can end up like masking your symptoms instead of actually healing the root cause, which I
hmm
not all the time, but yeah, that's just another reason how it can backfire. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
It can also backfire on your pocket.
that was my
Like,
next one. Yeah,
you guys, supplements are not cheap. I
yeah,
mean, you go and get like a multivitamin from Walmart, it's like 25 bucks.
yeah,
And
no,
then you go and add a digestive aid on top of that, and it's like 50 bucks, 60 bucks. And then you go and add fiber or whatever, something else. I mean, you're talking two, three, four, $500 in stacks worth of supplements that you don't even know if number one you need or number two if they're gonna work. But someone told you on Instagram that it was the magic pill, and it was like,
yeah.
spent all this money.
Yeah, and then it's like, when am I going to stop taking these? Like, am I just going to be dependent on them for the whole rest of my life? Like, that's something that I've been considering a lot recently, like trying to scale it back. Although I am working with a naturopath that helps me decide which ones I'm on, I'm like, okay, maybe we can kind of weed some of these out because we've treated the problem. Or maybe instead of taking the probiotic every day, I can just go down to every other day, like trying
Yeah.
to wean off of it. Because yeah, the financial is not cheap.
Well, I mean, like talking about the financial side though, like outside of how it's affecting the consumer's pocket, also I think it is kind of, and like this is hard because I do appreciate influencer marketing. Like I appreciate that nowadays people can work hard to brand themselves and make money off themselves and not, go to work for somebody or whatever it might be. Like I think it's cool that nowadays we can market ourselves to become our own brand and be able to make money that way, right? I think it's a really neat concept, but I also think businesses and creators sometimes just go a little bit too far with it because it's affecting their pocket too. Like if they're not selling you that clickbait title, if they're not selling you like the baiting, benefits of whatever it might be, if they're not overselling, if they're not doing those things, then they're not getting money. So like in a way, like it's a little fictitious. Like I don't know what the word is. It's a little inauthentic just because like you're pushing all of these things and it's affecting your pocket, if you're not doing the clickbait things. But at the end of the day, like you're not really educating and leading people down a good path by doing that. So it's kind of a double-edged sword a little bit. Because again, like I said, I do appreciate influencer marketing. I do. I mean, I really do. Like, but I just think in some industries it's better than others. Like the makeup industry, thank God for makeup influencers, or I would not know literally anything about that. You know what I'm saying? Or like fashion people, like what they wear. Like, oh, like here's how you can layer clothing to look better. Like not look better, but you know what I mean? Like put your
Yeah.
outfit together better. Or home decor, influencers that are showing you different things you can put in your house and like how to layer things in your bathrooms and different color ideas and schemes. Like I really love all of that. Or even influencers that just like put workouts out there and stuff like that. But even at that, like they'll be like, do this every single night and grow your butt. Okay, literally, are you joking me?
Yeah, I mean, we've all, I'm sure, can think of a post on social media we've seen where you can just tell that that influencer or creator is not actually using that product in their daily life, but
Yeah.
they're acting like they are, and you can just tell, like you said, it comes across so inauthentic, and it's like, scroll, like just no.
Yeah. Like I just feel like in the wellness space, they need businesses need to control what is available for influencer marketing and what's not.
Yeah, that'd be
Protein
cool.
powder, fine. People just say it tastes so good, whatever. Okay, great. I'll go buy it or not buy it. Creatine, fine. A lot of people take creatine, that's your choice if you want to take it or if you don't. Energy drinks, cool. Influence them. Clothing, yes, we need
Yeah.
that. We love that. But when it comes down to like supplements or like these waist trainers or gosh, there's so many the things that vibrate on your abs that are supposed to give you abs. Have you seen those? Oh my God, it's
I
literally
don't
insane.
know. I thought
It's
you were going to
insane.
talk about the vibration plates, and I'm like, I actually have one in my
No,
life.
no, 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 no. There's this thing, I'm sure someone listening knows what I'm talking about. It's like it's almost like a Velcro patch or something or whatever, but it goes on your stomach and like vibrates and it's apparently supposed to give you abs.
That's bizarre.
That's what I'm saying. Or yeah, like all of these supplements, like, oh, if you take this, it's gonna clear your acne. If you take this, it's gonna clear your inflammation. Like those things should just like not be up for influencer marketing,
Yeah,
in my
because
opinion.
like we talked about in the acne episode, there's so many different root causes of acne. So how can you be claiming that this supplement is going to fix your acne when you don't know if that person's acne is from that? Like, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I just feel like,
And they take advantage of people that are naive, and I just like feel so bad.
well, and I mean, naive, but like also like you want to fix whatever you have, right?
Yeah.
Like if
Right.
you're yeah, like if you're dealing with like when I was in prep, I don't know, you remember me texting you and I'm like, "Oh my God, my skin's breaking out so bad. Like
Yeah.
what can I do?" And then you were like straight with me. You were like, "Look, like your hormones are probably thrown off. So there's
Yeah.
really nothing that you can do like other until they get back on." They're like you told me about that clear skin supplement by what's that place? What's the
Clear
company?
them.
Yeah, clear stem. You're like, you can take this. This has been known to help with some of that, but like your root cause is really going to be healed with hormonal, like getting your hormones back on track. But it's like there's not going to be one thing, but because I was so desperate, I was willing to do anything. And
Yeah.
like think about all the different things that people are so desperate for. Even teeth. Do you see that the influencing around like teeth? Like people with like these things that they paint on their teeth to make them white and like all this stuff. I'm like, okay, I have
Yeah.
done all of that because I wanted the brightest, whitest teeth out there, you know? But it's like when you're desperate for something,
Yeah.
it's really easy to find something online that you could be fooled into buying.
Yeah, I mean, I've been guilty of that. I've tried like so many different skincare serums and
Yeah.
creams and all that, and it's just, yeah, I would add skincare to that category that should not be allowed.
Yes. Should not be allowed.
Yeah,
We need to create like an off limits list for
yeah,
influencers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
These are off limits.
And then even beyond the supplements of it all, like I'm sure you've seen these videos online of like morning routine
Oh,
culture.
jeez.
And this used to like stress me out so much because I'm like, how am I supposed to get 8 hours of sleep, wake up, meditate, do my red light, take my supplements, drink warm lemon water, get 10K steps, work out, have protein at breakfast, dry brush my skin, shower, stretch, cook, clean, like all this stuff before work, you know? Like,
Yeah, it's just not, no one's
it,
doing that. Get out of here with that.
or
Maybe you're
my,
doing it once a week. Maybe you're doing it on Saturday when you don't have to work, where
yeah,
you're waking up and you're doing those things and you can do that. But nobody is freaking doing that if they have a job at 8 o'clock that they
yeah,
gotta be at. Or if you are, then you're probably going to bed super freaking early and you have created that schedule for yourself and it's something that you enjoy. I'll be honest, I have to leave my house at 7:30 for work. I always try to leave by 7:25 because normally I hit some little bit of light traffic and stuff. I wake up at 6:50. It's just enough time for me to wake up, get my dogs outside, wash my face, get out of the shower or shower, wash my face, get out, do my makeup, put on my clothes and leave. I even make my food at night so I don't have to make it in the morning. Like, and I mean I am someone that stays up later versus get up early, but like nobody is doing that, you guys. Nobody is doing that.
yeah. And I used to look at those routines and influencers online and get so stressed out because I'm like, oh, that's why I'm not able to heal. That's why my skin's not perfect. That's why my hormones aren't balanced because I'm not doing all the things. And it's like, no, that's actually causing you more harm than good because of all the overwhelm and stress and burnout is like actually gonna just make you inflamed
Right.
and make things worse. Like,
Yeah. Like if you have an option of like if you have the option of sleeping another hour or waking up and doing an elaborate routine in the morning, like you're probably going to take that extra hour of sleep because I can guarantee you most of us in this world are not getting the normal 8 hours of sleep. Like a lot of us don't. Like, so like if you're going to bed at 11 o'clock and you got to be up at 5, are you going to then wake up at 4 to do your routine or are you going to take that extra hour of sleep? In my mind, the extra hour of sleep is probably more beneficial.
yeah, and it's not to say some of these things aren't helpful. Like I still do them. I'm just not doing all of them stacked on top of each other. Like, sure, I'd love to wake up like maybe 15 minutes earlier just so that I can like slowly get ready. And I feel like that is even more valuable than any of these like little habits you could do
Yeah.
because that way I'm not starting my day in a state of fight or flight and I can just like, yeah, slowly get ready for work, drink my matcha, like have a relaxed routine. Um, and yeah, I just feel like that's more benefit than trying to stack all these different habits and modalities into like one morning.
Yeah, I think ultimately it comes down to like what you do in the morning has nothing to do with your healing journey or your skin or your hormones or your weight loss journey or your muscle building journey or your brain, nothing. You have to find, well, what works for you and how you like to wake up and do those things. And however you like to wake up and get ready for your morning or your day or before work is what you got to do. And like, you shouldn't feel pressured from all the stuff that's online. And like, it's so easy to, right? Because it's like, oh, this girl looks like she has the perfect skin. It looks like her hair looks perfect and she has all the best products and like all this stuff. So it's like, of course you want that naturally too, but it's not, no one's doing that every day unless this is your job, right? Unless it's you got to remember, you guys, like influencers, their job is to influence you, right? So it's like their job is to make these things look really good and perfect and everything lined up all together, that they have everything together and that you should do it too. But it's like their life probably looks a lot different than yours. Not in a good, bad, or indifferent way, but they have to make that content. So of course they're gonna have these big long elaborate routines because you like to watch it, right? Like people make what they people creators, they are going to make what you like. So,
Hmm. Yeah, they're gonna make what you want to consume,
yeah,
obviously. And like for the average person doing all of those things, it's just gonna feel like checking off a box. Like you're not actually doing all of those things because you want to or you feel like called to do them. You're just doing them to
mhm.
check it off because you see someone else doing it. So
It
once I
becomes
realized,
just another task.
yeah, exactly. Once I realized that, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's so much
You're
better.
like, oh wait, maybe I don't need to sit in front of my salt rock with my, I don't even know.
And I do like to do my red light mask like in the morning. Like that gives me a good like 15 minutes to just chill for a sec. But am I doing that every day? No. Am I doing all that other stuff I mentioned? No. And
Yeah.
also that can kind of get into like, have you heard of like biohacking?
Yes.
Okay. So like that is I think that's cool, like I like it, but that still kind of can be like a slippery slope, I feel like. Because again, you're looking at these people whose whole day is centered around like biohacking and all these different things that they do. Um, like I'm thinking of like our ozone sauna at work.
Hmm.
Like things like treatments, I guess would be the
Yeah.
better word. Um, and those again, financial burnout, financial stress, and like those people online that are like the biohackers, again, that's like their job probably to like go and try all that stuff and test it out and stuff.
That's how they're
But
making money.
it's not realistic for the average person. And again, it's not to say that those things don't have any value, but it's like finding and picking and choosing one or two that you can implement into your life that actually helps and improves your health, not
Yeah.
just doing all of them because you see someone online doing them.
Yeah.
I
A
know we
hundred
keep
percent.
ourselves, but I just wanted to tie in like the treatments aspect
Yeah.
because
No, I like that. I think that was helpful.
yeah, I feel like there's a lot of that online nowadays too,
Oh, I do too.
like crazy expensive like technology and stuff, which is cool. Like as someone who's into that kind of stuff, it's cool to see and learn about, but just don't let it stress you out, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree. That's like also too, there's kind of like, you know how when you were like at school and like everybody went to, Aeropostale and got this new shirt or whatever, so like you wanted to, or everybody has a Kate Spade bag and you want to get one too, like whatever it is. That's kind of like the vibe that like social media kind of brings with like influencing. It's like, oh, everybody has it, I want to have it too. And that's another thing about, and I do not know anything about this subject, but it's just something that I'm seeing a lot is like peptides, for example. I do not know. I know very, very, very surface level about peptides, but that's the new thing right now. So lots of people are getting on them. Lots, again, not good, bad, or indifferent. Just bringing it up like as a conversation because trends go in and out, right? So it's like, you know, peptides are a big thing right now that people are talking about. Everybody's on them. I'm seeing people talking about these different stacks and stuff like that. I think it's really cool to learn about. And I'm like, man, everybody else is doing it. Like, why am I not doing it? Like, what are we doing? But like, that's kind of the feeling that you get sometimes when like there's these huge marketing pushes on whatever it might be, whether it's peptides or it's different types of treatments, whether it's everyone needs to be doing yoga, everybody needs to be weightlifting, everybody needs to be eating high protein. Like there's so many different messages that get put out there. And then because it starts trending, people then jump on it and then jump on it and then jump on it, and pretty much everybody looks like they're doing it. And then you're like, well, shoot, what am I doing? I'm gonna go drop $800 on peptides. Let's go. Like,
Yeah. And it's so crazy because say you weren't on social media and you didn't consume any content like that, you would have no idea about
no
that and
idea.
you're perfectly fine. Like,
Literally, yes. This is okay. So I think we might have talked about this in like one of our very first episodes, like our body confidence episode, where we talked about like trends of like women's bodies. Like
yes.
nobody would ever have gotten a BBL if Instagram did not exist.
Yeah.
Nobody ever just woke up and was like, I'm gonna take all the fat out of myself and stick it in my butt. If like having a big butt was not popular, like
Yeah.
online, you know what I'm saying? Or like nobody would have gotten a bunch of lip filler if like Kylie Jenner didn't get lip filler. Like Kylie Jenner is like the king of that queen, whatever she calls herself, King Kylie. Love Kylie Jenner. But like Homegirl was the start of
Yeah.
like med spas blew up after that. Everybody wanted lip filler. I still want lip filler and I haven't gotten it because of Kylie Jenner. I was just looking at her post the other day because she's doing that like King Kylie like campaign
Yeah.
right now and I'm like so here for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I think I really want lips like Kylie Jenner. And then I'm like, I really like her eyes, like how her I'm like, no, stop. Like,
Yeah. Let me just like rearrange my whole face to match
right.
her. Yeah.
Right, but it's like that's how it's so weird, but you're totally right. Like if we didn't consume any content at all, think about the things that we would not have in life or that we wouldn't think about.
Yeah. I know. That's why sometimes I'll be scrolling for like a little bit too long and then I realize that I am feeling so bad about myself and I'm like, okay, it's time to go touch grass and like do
Yeah.
something in the real world. Like,
Yes.
get rid of this.
I'm like, all right, let me just drink my water, eat my dinner, and shut my phone off because
Yeah,
I should not be looking at this little 4-inch screen anymore.
yeah, you have to kind of like be aware of what you're consuming, obviously. But
Yeah, I agree.
okay, so with all that being said, let's talk about what will actually move the needle, like foundational stuff you can do that's low cost or free. We've talked about a lot of this stuff on previous episodes, but just to review, obviously, like I think you would agree, the most important is proper nutrition,
Yep.
protein, healthy fats, complex carbs, fiber. We have a whole episode on foundational nutrition, so you guys should go back and listen to that. Um, then obviously sleep. We kind of talked about this, but 7 hours a night, preferably. We also
Yay.
did a whole episode on sleep if you guys are struggling. Like we talked about a lot of good tips to get better sleep in that episode. Um, Obviously daily movement, exercise, stretching, getting your steps in, lifting weights, all those type of things. Like you can
Yeah,
move your body for free. Like it's
literally. Can
like
like
a thing I wanted to mention earlier, like Pilates is huge right now. You
huge.
I love to go to a fancy studio and pay $50 for a reformer class. But at the same time, I could pull up my workout mat and look up a YouTube video of Matt Pilates and do it for free and save the $50.
Oh my gosh, I'll give you guys a tip right now. Let me just pull this girl up. So with some of my clients, some of them can't get to the gym like 4 to 5 days a week, right? So what I do is I will assign them like a Pilates routine or like a yoga thing just to get some movement in at home. And there's
Yeah.
this girl on YouTube, Move with Nicole. I don't know if my phone will allow you to see this. Oh,
Oh,
kind of. Okay, doesn't really matter. Anyways, it's
I can link it.
yeah, it's at Move with Nicole, and it's all like this one, 50-minute Pilates, 35-minute Pilates, no equipment required, 30-minute Pilates core workout, 40-minute, like literally they're all and they're great. I do them sometimes too. Like I'll do one today because I take off 2 days a week at the gym, and I always will do like a yoga one day and then like just an online one on YouTube or that Pilates one. And I've been assigning them to my clients too. And they've been really enjoying just being like, all right, like I can get a 30-minute workout in on a Saturday, not have to worry about going to the gym, especially like I got kids and stuff. Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go and do that. So yeah, and there's so many like at home online workout stuff. Like that's the good side of like the amount of content that we're getting out nowadays because there is stuff that is so helpful. It's just kind of like cutting through the fat a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I follow a few good yoga people too that we can link because yeah, it's
Yeah.
so helpful when you can't make it to a studio. Um, yeah, great tips.
Yeah, I love
Um,
that.
and free. So
Free, legit free.
okay, next one I put on here is having a daily bowel movement. I know that kind of doesn't really go with the previous ones, but it is so important for gut health and like if you're struggling with being bloated all the time, like that is something you can work on with your nutrition, getting more fiber, getting more movement, drinking enough water. Um,
Hmm.
I was just telling someone the other day, warm lemon water in the morning if you're constipated is game changing. Like that is so low cost and that
So
will
low cost.
your health so much and you don't have to go spend $100 on like some
Hmm.
treatment at a spa or something.
Yeah, I would say like digestion, that's something that I have struggled with a little bit like over the last year. When you kind of come off of during bodybuilding prep, your body digestion gets a little bit screwed up, especially towards the end when like food's super low and energy is really high. And so like a couple things that I have done to help with it, get my digestion back on track is the apple cider vinegar in the morning. That's something that's number one, good for your gut health, but that also really helps me. And that's very low cost. I think it's like $6 at Walmart.
For a
Um,
big thing of it.
yeah, big thing of it. Oh my God, fun fact, like 3 weeks ago, I bought a big thing of it and I dropped it on my floor,
And it cracked.
the whole thing.
Oh
And it
no.
was full. It went up
That's so sad.
our house smelled like apple cider vinegar for like at least 2 weeks.
At least your floor was clean.
Floor was cleaner than heck. But that's something that I have done. Um, I would say another thing that I really like is glutamine. Muscle HD, they make a glutamine. I honestly think it's like maybe $25 and it's lasted me so long. It's a big powder one. It comes like this big.
Yeah.
Um, that's a great thing that has really helped me. Um, yeah, and the reason I'm taking these things is because I know I get enough fiber in. I know I eat a healthy diet. So if
Yeah.
you don't get enough fiber in naturally and you don't eat a healthy diet naturally, then don't just start adding in apple cider vinegar and and
Yeah.
glutamine and any other, supplement. Like let
Start
do
with the
one thing at a
fiber.
time. Yeah, start with increasing the fiber and changing your foods, to like more healthy whole foods and see how that goes for you and let that go for like a month or 2 or 3 months. And then if you kind of need some more help, then hey, dive in a little bit more and see what works for you. But yeah, those are some things that have helped that cannot talk that have helped me.
Yeah. And also I know I said this, but drinking enough water if you're
Huge.
having digestion issues, like start with that as well. Okay, next, managing stress, my favorite topic. But seriously, like you again, don't need to go out and get a massage and spend $100. Like, of course, we would all love to do that, but there's other free ways at home to manage stress, like obviously with movement, stretching, yoga, going for a walk,
Yeah.
reading a book, like making a cup of tea or just doing something that you enjoy. I don't know. Everyone has different hobbies, but like finding what that is for you to be able to wind down at the end of the day and like be able to get into that parasympathetic rest and digest state that I always talk about, that will move the needle so much more for you than taking like a bunch of supplements.
And two, I always see online people like, oh, I'm doing a self-care day, and then like they go and get a facial, then they go and get a massage, and then they go and do like a sauna, and they do all this stuff, and then you're like, oh, I want to do a self-care day, but like, and I get my nails done, but that would be like a $500 day. Like that's more stressful than just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I
Yeah.
get it's a self-care day, but like, don't put that much pressure on yourself. Like, I get it, all these people are doing all these extravagant things for like a self-care day, but like, what is better than like lighting a candle and sitting in your bath?
Yeah. Love a
Free.
good.
Yes, like you don't need to go and get a $200 facial and then go, do all these things. Can you? Absolutely. And if you want to, yes, but like don't feel like those are the things that you have to do to have a good self-care day. Like again, sitting in a bath, lighting a candle, watching a movie, doing some stretching, like listening to relaxing music and doing stretching. Maybe like get some nail, like do your toes, give yourself a little at-home pedicure. Like those are things that you can do that are like a little bit more aligned with like normal people, like not normal people, but like people that aren't going to go and spend $500-600 on a Saturday. You know,
Yeah.
if $500-600 on a Saturday for a self-care day is going to stress you out more than actually help you, then that's probably a good sign that you should just, that's what I do. I love that. I love sitting in an Epsom salt bath and doing those things, or like, you know, that like that's goes so much further than doing all those things. Of course, if you want to go for it, like I said, but yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. We kind of already said this, but just fewer and more intentional supplements. We can gloss over that one. Getting lab tests instead of just guessing. If you do have the money, if you can get your primary care to order a basic blood work panel. A lot of like companies are coming up now, like Function Health,
I've
um,
seen that.
that have a really good price for yearly lab work. So those are some things that you can look into if you are having a lot of health issues, just so you can get a better idea of where to spend your money instead of just all this trial and error and guessing like we've talked about.
Also,
Um,
I just want to make a quick comment on that. I do think like because hormones are so important, I think we kind of went through a little bit of a phase over this last year where like people were kind of overselling hormone problems online. Like everything was because of a hormone. And like everyone needs to get their lab work. And like it was so intense that like even one of my sisters, she was like, oh my gosh, my stomach hurts. I need to get my labs done. It's probably my hormones that are off. It's like, okay, I hate to break it to you, but hormones are actually not the answer to everything, you know? And it's like, yes, their answers, yes, hormones can really have a significant impact on your health, but the odds of your hormones being off because your stomach hurts or because you like can't lose weight or something like that is very low. Like before you go and get your hormones checked and spend all this money on that stuff, unless it's like period related, acne related, stuff like that, like maybe just look at your diet first
yeah.
and look at your sleep habits first and look at all these other things first and do that. And then if you're still having issues, then you know, okay, maybe something is off with my blood work. But like blood work did become a little bit of a trendy thing this year where like people were just like getting blood work because they like were getting headaches. And I'm like, are we sure about that? Or like, oh my God, I
Yeah.
can't lose weight. I'm gonna get my blood work done. Well, you just are piling down McDonald's 5 days a week. You don't need your blood work done. You need to clean up your diet. Like,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
that's like a fine
That's
line too. Like I'm a big proponent of knowing what's going on the inside, but like don't just go get blood work done because of something that you're like actually evaluate your life before you go and spend $200 on a blood panel.
yeah, I guess I should have had a disclaimer with that because like in my head I'm surrounded by a lot of people that are already doing the
Right.
foundational stuff, like
Yeah.
doing the healthy diet and exercising and sleeping and stuff. Uh,
Hmm.
so yeah, I forget that people like just want to
Yeah.
skip to that.
Yeah, yeah. Like but if you are someone that is already doing all the healthy stuff and you have for a long period of time and you're not lying to yourself and you feel like something's wrong, you're feeling off, absolutely. You're having an acne issue, absolutely. You haven't gotten your period in a long time, absolutely. Like there are certain areas where like blood work should be step one every single time, but like other things, like okay, maybe we need to look at the actual lifestyle that you're living before we go and like add in supplements, get blood work, and like do all these things.
Yeah, 100%. And I also do think though too, like, because I was just talking to Jeff about this, like getting yearly blood work just to make sure for like a preventative measure.
Yeah,
Because like our healthcare system is very more so reactive. Like once you have a problem, then they'll do tests. But it's like
right.
you can catch a lot of things early if you're just like
On
doing
top of it.
yearly
Yeah.
checks and things like
Yeah.
that. Um,
And I also don't want to sound contradictory because I know at the beginning of the episode I said like before you go and take a bunch of supplements, make sure you get a blood work panel done. But like that makes sense. Like
yeah,
put blood work in where it makes sense, right? It's sometimes it's the first thing that you should do before you start something or do something, but sometimes it's really just a lifestyle thing.
yeah,
So yeah, I think it just got a little oversold. And like I was hearing every single day that people were like going to get their blood work because of really crazy reasons. And I'm like, I feel like
yeah. Like the headaches thing, I would first be like, are you getting enough water? Like, are you
yeah, water,
hydrated?
sleep. Are you stressed? Are you
Yeah,
sick? you know, like you're losing weight. Are you actually in a calorie deficit? Are you actually eating what you're supposed to be eating? Are you in a deficit during the week, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're overeating, so you're canceling your deficit out? Like those kinds of things, I guess.
Yeah. Um, and then next, I just wanted to mention, like, this is something that I was guilty of, was being consistent with one protocol or plan before just like switching to the next one because you think it's not working. Like,
Yeah.
these lifestyle changes and diet changes take time to work, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And so I would get really frustrated because I would be trying to do something and then I would still be breaking out and I'd be like, okay, well, that must not be it. So let me try something else. But it's like, no,
Hmm.
you need to give it time and be patient.
Yes. Yes. Definitely sticking to like something long enough before you switch it. I think a lot of people are like, because online, let's say you're having an acne issue, but you just went out and bought like some stuff for your face, but then and so you've been doing that and maybe it hasn't made a difference yet, but you're only like a weekend. And then you go online and someone's like, this serum is what is going to clear your hormonal acne. Like that doesn't mean you should just throw in the towel on your current plan that you just have. Like let's stick with that plan before we move on to
Yeah.
another one. Yeah, like I actually just experienced this, but it was with bloating. I've been having, and this is like a long time, but ever, so I competed on September, whatever, first weekend in September, and then again the first weekend in October. And in between the shows, we added in some foods that I didn't have prior to my first show. And since my show, I've been having some issues with like feeling pressure in my lower stomach. Sometimes you could see it like bloating coming out and sometimes you couldn't, but like the pressure in my lower stomach, like I know it was there. And so I kept just trying different things. Like I was just like, oh, I'm just going to try this in the morning, I'm going to try that in the morning, I'm going to try doing this, I'm going to try doing that. And like I just kept switching things up to the point that like I couldn't even figure out what worked and what didn't work. And then the other day I'm like, you know what, I have got to figure this out. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to strip this back to scale one. Oh, and in the meantime I'm online looking at all this. Oh, here's a gut health drink. Oh, here's this digestive enzyme that you need to take. So what do? Start getting all the stuff, right? And so, and turns out I'm here and none of that has helped. And so then what I ultimately decided to do was I was like, all right, I'm going to start with my food. I'm gonna start with my food and see what's affecting it. And so I ate my meals in a different order and I ate my oatmeal in the morning instead of it being my last meal. Within 20 minutes of eating that oatmeal, my stomach was bloated. I'm like, bang, there's my problem. I
Yeah.
didn't need all these different digestive things. I didn't need to switch my routine every 5 minutes. Like, I didn't need to, I just needed to stick to the basics, which was my apple cider vinegar and my glutamine, and remove the oatmeal from my diet because that is what's causing me some bloating. And so the last couple days, when I figured that out on Friday and it's Sunday. And so like yesterday I did not have any oatmeal and I started to feel a little bit better. Today I have not had any oatmeal and I won't have any oatmeal. So hopefully I'm feeling even a little bit better tomorrow. And so even though it's not totally going away right away, like I'm not gonna put the oatmeal back in and just whatever. I'm gonna stick to
Yeah.
the no oatmeal and see if there's any other intolerance that I might have. But I gotta wait until my body kind of deflames and gets this out and all the things. So yeah, that's just like an example.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. Okay, and lastly, just wanted to round it out by letting you guys know that healing, health, wellness, fitness, it's not always going to be like trendy and exciting and flashy. Like sometimes it's just going to be boring and that's fine and that's normal and that's good actually because
Mm-hmm.
you're in a routine and that works for you. And yeah, I feel like we forget that sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's okay for it to be boring. Is the
My
main thing.
life is very boring. Like in terms of that, I eat the same stuff every day. I go to the gym, I do the same workouts, like, and I think that's another thing too, is people are like, oh, you need a new workout plan every single day. No, you don't. You shouldn't actually. That doesn't allow you to track strength. Or like you'll see people online that are making fun macro recipes every single meal of the day. Like, no, they probably had a content day or like they're recording one a day or something like that. Like you don't need to have crazy macro meals every day. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. I think the boringness and it's really just repeatability, consistency, and continuing to go after, less is more.
And just sticking to the foundational things like we said, remembering that you don't need to buy your way to health and you don't need fixing. Like you're not
Yeah.
broken. You don't need something to fix you or a magic pill or whatever. It's not always going to be easy, but it is like simple when you strip it down to the basics, and it doesn't need all this chaos and all this stuff added in. Like, just if you just slow down and trust the process and lay those foundations, like you're going to be so much better off.
So much better. Start small, see what works for you, and build on there.
Yeah. So,
all right, you guys. We have anything else?
That was all I had.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We hope that this helps de-influence you on some random things you may see online today or in the rest of the week. And as always, please like, comment, subscribe, leave us a review. It really helps support our channel and allows us to continue to do these episodes, bring on guests, and just continuing to support our content and what we're doing. So thank you guys. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.